It has just been an unfortunate fact of reality from the beginning that folding phone screens have creases in them. You have a material that is being bent, and anytime you bend a material, it's going to crease. Now, the good news is when you're using these devices, you don't typically see that crease unless there's a light, hitting just right on it. But if you're facing, straight on like this, you're not going to really see that crease. And if I'm totally honest with you, it doesn't really bother me anymore at all. I'm so used to it at this point that it really means nothing to me. But I know that a lot of people are really bothered by that crease, or maybe they think they will be bothered by it. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's something that does put them off. But it seems like somehow, some way, Samsung is about to make some pretty substantial progress when it comes to the creases on their 7th series flip and fold devices. So what we're looking at right now is a video that has been making the rounds on the internet, and it's something that I have to be like somewhat careful with because I've already seen this being removed. Samsung is not, I guess, particularly pleased that this is being proliferated on Twitter and so forth. So I'm just going to kind of show you little snippets from this. If you want to see the full video, you could probably Google it and find it relatively easily. I will say that I have pinned it in the Discord server in the Samsung Galaxy section. If you don't see it, click on the little pin icon up here and you'll see it there as well. But obviously this is the Galaxy Z Flip 7, and as you can see, it's closed when this video starts, and that's actually really important. I think by now a lot of people realize that when you first unbox a flip or fold device, that crease is basically non-existent. And then the first time you close it and open it, you're going to go, okay, yeah, there's a little bit more of a crease now. And we got to keep this in mind too. Over the next few days, for me, usually by the second day, third day, the crease is pretty well broken in. But again, it does take some time. So what we're looking at here may not be, probably isn't, a fully broken in crease. Nonetheless, they do open this thing up and then they kind of turn it to the side where you would theoretically be able to see that crease. If it's going to be super visible, you can see that that is where the hinge is. So the other hinge will be over here. And what you don't really see much of at all is any noticeable creasing on this display. Very, very impressive. Now, just for a point of reference, here is my own unboxing of the Z Fold 6. And you can see this is before it has been bent, creased the very first time. And you can see there is a little bit of a crease visible there already. It's very minimal, but it is visible. And then here we are almost a year later, and it is significantly more noticeable. So I just have to hammer that home. These things do progress. They don't stay static, but we're starting, it appears to me, we are starting in a really, really impressive state. So this does line up with some of the leaks that we have seen in the last few months leading up to the Galaxy Z Fold and Z Flip 7. We've heard rumors that they have re-engineered the hinge mechanism. They have re-engineered in some way the ultra-thin glass. Maybe it's a new version of ultra-thin glass. They do this fairly regularly. The Fold 6 had some changes made to the ultra-thin glass as well that was meant to make it more durable and to minimize the appearance of the crease as well. But like I said, that hinge mechanism, the actual folding that's happening, makes a really big difference in the appearance of that crease. Take a piece of paper and fold it over really tightly versus taking a piece of paper and folding it over in sort of like a teardrop shape with a larger radius. That's going to obviously have a different appearance one versus the other, and re-engineering the hinge, re-engineering that stuff inside is going to make a big difference. That's why when we look at devices like the Oppo Find N5, which has a completely different looking crease, if I can get the light to hit this correctly, you can see how it almost looks like it's crinkled. It looks completely different than what Samsung has with the Z Fold devices, or what Google has with the Pixel Fold devices. It's a completely different looking crease. This is much sort of smoother. Maybe it's deeper. Maybe it's probably a similar width, but it looks completely different. And that's because they're folding their screens in completely different ways. And when you're getting super duper thin like this, if they're able to, at the same time, reduce the appearance of that crease, that would be very, very impressive. Now keep in mind that the Z Flip crease doesn't always look the same as the Z Fold crease. So it's possible that it's going to look better on the flip than it will on the fold. The flip is also thicker, so it's going to have more room potentially for that larger radius fold. So we can't necessarily 100% extrapolate what we've just seen over to the Z Fold, but nonetheless, I do think it is encouraging. Like I said, if you want to see the full video yourself, it is in the Discord server. There's a link in the description down below. I think that we have over 1,000 people in the Discord server now, so there's almost always some fun tech conversations going on in there, and you can be in there and not be on Twitter or Threads or Facebook or any of these other highly toxic social media platforms. We stay on topic and we talk about tech here in that Discord server, so feel free to jump in and join in those conversations. Let me know in the comments down below, how big of a deal is this to you? Do you think that they have truly improved things as much as it appears they have in this video? Will we see this on the Galaxy Z Fold? And again, like I said, how big of a deal is that actually to you guys? Do you care about the crease? I know some of you do, some of you don't, but again, fun conversation to be had in the comments down below. Subscribe for more content just like this, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.